Let's talk about 5 things I wish I knew in my early 20s. Invest in yourself, not stocks. You won't get wealthy by investing in stocks, unless you already have a huge amount of money or capital to work with. However, if you take the money and invest it in yourself by acquiring skills, you can change your financial outcome completely. I started investing 100 euros a month in an index fund back then when I was 19 years old. Because everyone was saying, yeah, you need to start investing early. But the truth is, till today, this has grown to around 7k. And yes, it will grow to around 300k, with an average percentage of 6% per year till I'm 65. But I'm 65 then. And so what happens when we invest the money in ourselves and in our skill acquisition instead? For example, let's say we are earning around 2k a month, which is around the number what I was earning back then. And instead of investing in stocks, we buy learning material. We acquire new skills that will lead us to better pay or that helps us to start a business. And let's say it takes us 5 years to capitalize on the investment by getting a new job or growing our company till it makes some money. I also believe this can be achieved much faster, but let's just stay with the 5 years to really illustrate the point. So after these 5 years, we are now earning, instead of the 2k a month, 6k a month. So that's a 3x on the money we made at the start. And this means if we are not increasing our living expenses drastically, we could now potentially invest 1 to 3k in stocks per month, getting us to the 7k I earned through investing in stocks in 2.5 months. And if we play this further till 65, if we keep investing these 1 to 3k a month, we land at 6 million. I don't know. I just always find it so crazy to see the difference in terms of gains when we compare investing in ourselves and our skills, our education, versus investing in stocks. The truth is, I'm not against investing in stocks in general, because I think they're a great vehicle to get to financial independence in the long run. But the question is about timing, because back when I was 19, it was just making far too little to make any difference. And the money would have just been far better invested in my skill acquisition, as we've just seen in the example. Because with our skill, we can get to a level where we can start investing thousands, tens or hundreds of thousands into stocks, which then can grow much faster if we so choose. Take action, don't overthink. Planning and thinking about the future, that's important. Because if you don't plan, you become part of somebody else's plan. But it gets you nowhere if you don't start taking action. Because you need real-world data to adjust the course and get to where you want to go. In my early 20s, I would spend hours watching courses, listening to podcasts, and making notes about all the possible things that would be important for whatever I wanted to do at the time. If there was building a website or making better photos. But the problem with that is that I spent hours upon hours learning without an actual problem in my mind, which I could apply it to. And so I mostly forgot everything. And instead, if I would have started doing the thing, and then if I would hit a roadblock or had a specific question like, okay, how do I actually build now an email sign up on my website? I could have searched for this specific problem. And this would not have only led to me figuring out the solution faster, but it also would have stuck with me in my long-term memory, because I would have applied it directly and got this real-world data. And therefore, by learning about a specific solution for a specific problem, we become much more effective and direct, because our mind gets in a kind of a frame where we start then, when we are learning something, looking at it from our problem perspective, from the thing we are trying to achieve and the roadblocks we hit and the questions we have. But if we just start reading and consuming stuff, we don't have any buckets where we can put this knowledge into. Stop caring what other people think. Not everyone will like us, and that's okay. I made the biggest changes, had the biggest results when I stopped caring what other people think of me. For example, I hesitated a lot starting this channel because I wasn't sure what people would think. In my jobs, I didn't set clear boundaries, and I often held back what I was thinking because I was afraid of the outcome. But turns out it wasn't so bad after all. Turns out that people value the thoughts I'm sharing, and giving constructive feedback and sharing my points of view helped others, and they also then thanked me later for it. Of course, not everyone will agree with everything, and that's okay, and that makes life interesting, because sharing ideas and learning about different perspectives, changing one's beliefs if it turns out that there are better ones out there, that's life, that's growth. But we need to make the change, we need to make the move, we need to get outside of our comfort zone. Put yourself first. I believe that if you're just nice, do a great job, people will notice and they will give you what you deserve and want. Never happens. If you don't ask for it, it just won't come. So ask for what you want, even if it might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. But it will get easier and easier over time. And next to that, you're practicing your muscle of rejection. Of course, it doesn't mean that we don't need to do great work and produce great outputs, but it's asking for what we value, for the things that we are producing. And the same is true for setting boundaries when it comes to your time. If you say yes to everything, you won't have any time left to do what you want to do. And your calendar will be filled with tasks, events, and other responsibilities until there's no slot left anymore for yourself. I was a super strong people pleaser, always saying yes to everything. The problem is that at some point I had no energy left, and others also started to notice, and the time I was spending with others became less enjoyable. And so by putting yourself first and setting these boundaries, you can make sure you have the time and energy for the people and activities that are most important to you. Material possessions versus experiences. I strongly believe that money would be best invested by buying the latest iPhone than using it to go out for a dinner with friends. But my mindset shifted on this point completely. Every time you go out with a friend and have an experience, you strengthen the connection and you create memories which accompany you for the rest of your life. It's something that you can tell stories about, where you can get the chance to meet new people, learn about new perspectives and new beliefs. Sure, having the latest iPhone is fun, but only for the moment. Because then it just becomes normal, just like everything else, and we will start to look for something else, something better, something shinier. If you're interested about a mindset shift that really changed the way I look at life and the world, you can check out a video which I made about it here. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Remember, keep growing, keep striving, and I see you in the next one. Peace.